What's going on, everybody? Schaefer Rob here. I actually have a face. We're going to talk about Instinct a little bit and see if we can't get it to click. So, Instinct for the PeopleNet, right? What we're using to replace PeopleNet. The ELD side is the same. But the messaging part, especially where it talks about our pre-plans and everything like that, that is what they call a workflow. So, one process leads to another process, leads to another process, leads to the final process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this next load I've got. I'm getting emptied out right now, but we're going to start by looking at everything from beginning to end and see if we can make it make sense, including how all the trips are worked so that you go step to step to step to step and let the computer do all the work, all right? So let's check it out, would you? So here we are. We got our pre-plan, right? There it is. Pre-plan. What we're going to do is we're not going to accept it here, though. We're going to accept it on the trips page. So let's go ahead and go back, and we're going to go right here to all trips. And you're going to see that there is a pre-planned trip picking up in Costco and delivering in Costco. That one's picking up in Mira Loma, California, going to Aurora, Colorado. We're going to do that one. If you look, it says accept and reject. So we're going to accept it. So let's go ahead and accept. Okay. And then if you look, there's the yes, it's committed, and it's the correct trip number. So we're just going to set up our PTA date and time. This one delivers on the 24th. So we're going to put the 24th. Okay. And then we're going to put our time, 0700 a.m., right? And then we're just going to hit this button right here. Now, if you go back and look, it's accepted. We're not pre-planned on it anymore. It's now accepted. Okay? So, that's how that works. So, when it's time for the next step, we'll do the next video. And you guys will see the process. This will be one little bit longer video, but you guys will get to see the whole process. Alright, so there it is, accepted. And when we empty this one out, we'll go to the next step. All right, everybody. Well, we sent in our empty call, right? So now we're picking up in part 2 of our video of what we need to do. So here's all of our messaging and everything like that, right? But we want to go to the trips. We want to see that. Let's go to all trips. And see, look, right here. Planned trip, Costco. Going to Costco, and it says start. So let's click on that. Do you want to change this trip to active? We say yes. Okay, so now if you go to my current trip, there it is. Okay, that's your active trip. So what do we need to do? We need to click on our shipper because that's where we're going, right? If we look, yep, that's the shipper. Everything is good. So we're going to hit this button right here, and that'll bring up your map. Guess what? Now it's going to take you straight to your shipper. Now, let me turn the camera around here. Oh, look at that hair. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why I still run a second GPS. All right, I still function as if the mapping on here doesn't work, but it does to a degree. I have found errors with the GPS in the programming here, right? Not a big deal though, as long as you're running your other GPS, okay? But when we get to Costco, okay, and I'm hoping I'll have this set up somehow so that I can actually record it. But when we get there, the computer's going to ask me, you have arrived at Costco, correct? And, you hit yes or whatever like that. And this is, do you want to send a arrival call? And you'll hit yes, enter your trailer number, and it'll send the arrived at shipper. And then, right, this will all be shown. There's an icon. You can hit that. And guess what? It's your loaded call. You're going to hit that, input the information, your loaded call goes. Then we're going to go back into our trips again, and we're going to select the consignee and navigate to that, and it'll repeat that whole process. That's the workflow as I understand it, okay? Or that's what it's called, a workflow. Whatever they call it, I don't know, but it's a workflow. Something leads to something, leads to something, leads to something until we get to the end. So the way this is going right now, okay, it's going to take us to our shipper. Now I've got a fuel stop. That's in my regular GPS between here and there. So I'll go there, get my fuel, and then I'm gonna roll on down the road and get, you know, my load, and then get fuel consignee. Right? So I'm gonna record the whole trip as far as what we're doing with Instinct, so that you guys can see it. All right. I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, always put them in the comments, or send me a question or whatever through fucking the Facebook or whatever. Okay. Sorry for my language there, folks, but I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you're learning something from this. They do have the training videos on here. I've watched most of them. Okay, but I'm still pulling stuff out of it. Okay, but here we are. We're gonna go to our shipper tomorrow. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you in part 3. Well, looky here, we're approaching our shipper. So you guys just saw that screen. More to come. All right, look, what do we got here? You have arrived at Costco wet temp. That is my shipper. So what do? We're gonna hit yes. Guess what? It's gonna force me to do an arrival call. Arrived at shipper. So we're gonna put in our trailer number, 841 056. Okay, so we put that in there, and then you just hit the blue arrow right there. Okay, and then it brings up this screen, right? Now we're gonna come back to this in just a minute, but this screen, you're wanting that button right there, because that button is our loaded call. So we'll get back to that in just a second. Let me get it done. All right, guys, here we go. So we have done all we're supposed to do. We've got our trailer and everything like that. We are currently on duty and everything. So we got to do a loaded call, right? Well, here's our, if you remember, I just showed you, this was the computer here telling me that I've arrived, and that I sent my empty call, or my arrival call. But then this button right here, right? It looks like a play button. Well, watch what happens. When you hit play, it brings up your loaded call, or your call for loading. So we're gonna actually just put ourselves on duty, skip. Okay, then we're gonna go back to, there you go, see? Just hit that button right up here in the top, and it'll bring you right back to your screen you're on. And we're gonna do the loaded call, so give me a second and I'll do it. All right, so I wanna show you guys something. If this was a dry load and you hit this button right there, it'll send your loaded call. You guys already know that, but however, I'm carrying a temp load. So when I put in all my information and hit yes there, guess what? When I hit the button up here, now it's gonna bring up the reefer information. If you hit no on that, then the dry side just goes. You gotta put, you know, as a reefer driver, you gotta put your information in. So yes, there's a temp, yes, it's on the bills, it's 36 degrees, and it is continuous. Now when we hit this, look at that, it left. Okay, so what are we gonna do now? We're gonna hit this little button right here, right? That shows that we have completed the pickup, just like that. That's the workflow for the pickup. Now, it's got a location in here. That's our consignee, so we're gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna verify it. Yep, that's where I wanna go, right? So now, I hit the drive to button, and there it is.
Sudden slowdown within the next 5 miles. Please use caution.
Change my duty status, but I can bring back our map, just like that, see? And that's it. That's how you do your loaded call, right? And yes, the GPS in here is working.
You have received new messages.
We got messages, look at there. Let's look at our messages. If I touch this, it's gonna bring them up. Wants another PTA request because they moved the appointment until Friday, but I'm gonna have it there on Thursday. And then drop trailers in Costco up there in Aurora. Slide all the tandems all the way back. There you go. So we already knew that. Then we'll go back.
Traffic alert.
So there we go. And as far as this goes with the GPS thing on it, right now I am only using it for point to point. So to get to the shipper, to get to the consignee, but I'm still running mine at the same time, right? So that's it. That's how we do it. Whatever. Okay, I'm not messing around with it, because I personally don't think they've got all the kinks worked out of that one yet. I've noticed some discrepancies, but it's getting worked on, and that GPS that's in here will be for another time. But let's go ahead and get up to Colorado so we can finish this video up on the consignee side. Oh, wait a minute, I got another message. You guys look at there, put our enforcer lock on, because I'm a genius. I've already done it. Look at that. It's amazing. You guys know you're enjoying this. So here we are with the last part of our video. And if you look, did you arrive at Costco? We're gonna hit yes. And guess what? We're gonna send our arrived at consignee message, letting them know. When we're done doing what we gotta do in here, we're gonna hit this little button right here. That'll be our empty call. So I'll be back for that part. All right, let's finish this thing up, right? So here we are doing the workflow, right? So the last thing is we've arrived. You saw this screen, here it is. We've done dropped, we hooked up to another trailer. So now we need to send our empty call. Well, that's where this button right here comes into play. You hit that and look at that, it's your empty call. So let me go ahead and fill in the blanks and we'll be right back. All right, so here we go. We got all of our information in. We're gonna go ahead and send our empty call. Okay, that's done. Now the last thing we want to do is when we hit this button, and this completes our trip. See, active trip went away. Now we're going to go back to all trips. I got a pre-plan to accept, but this one will come up in just a minute, and that'll be my active one. All right, so I'll bring this up in just a minute. All right, so here's the last step of the workflow, okay? We send in our empty call. Now look, we got this right here where it says planned. It's in yellow, right? That means it's ready to go. And we got start. So if we hit start, do I want to make this trip the active trip? You hit yes. Sending data over. If we go to my current trip, look at there. That's the next load, right? We'll hit this. We're going to hit start. And it's going to tell me we're going 8 miles away to go pick up our next load. So there you go. I know it's confusing. Please pardon me. This is the end of the day. I'm whooped. However, I wanted to make sure you guys knew the workflow is simple. It's getting it into our head and using this thing as designed, okay? That's the big thing. Just using it as a design. The workflow is designed to go step to step to step to step to step. All right, you guys seen it. This is the one load. I went from accepting the pre-plan, how I did my arrived at shipper, the loaded call, the arrived at consignee, the empty call, and how to move your next load from the planned and start to your active. All right, and then you move it into active, and it'll continue to flow that way. I hope that this helps and didn't confuse anybody. But if you have any questions, by all means, leave them in the comments. Whether it's on the Facebook, whether it's in one of the groups that we put this in, or even on YouTube, I will get to you and I will do my best to answer anything I can. Okay? So, I'm Schaefer Rob. I appreciate you guys supporting me. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to put all the information out that we're getting. I would like to thank DriveWise for commenting on our video that we did for them. Very informative, and they agreed with it 100%. So, hey. Can't go wrong there. So thank you, DriveWise. Also, thanks to everybody that is giving input. You know, I can't say thank you enough to everybody that's helped me out, whether it's asset managers, whether it's terminal managers, my terminal manager, you know, whatever. And then, you know, just whoever's giving me help. You know, we're trying to make this an easy transition for everybody, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired. I'm hungry. But I wanted to get this done for you guys, all right? So I'm going to do the editing. I'm going to get it out and get this taken care of and put it out to you guys. I wish you all the best. Remember, rubber side down, shiny side up. Keep it between the lines. You guys be good.